You know, it's not enough to just prepare for the storm. It's essential to brace yourself for the aftermath. News 4's Courtney Crown spoke with Coffee County CERT volunteers who are ready to lend a helping hand.
Demonstrate to hurricane what destruction it can cause.
Coffee County's prepared.
The high winds haven't yet blown through and there aren't power lines across the street. But the CERT team in Coffee County isn't waiting for a hurricane to learn how to help.
We can't stop a heart attack from happening, and we may not have the strength to lift a fallen building, but that we could provide some basic help until emergency teams could be on the scene.
Shannon McNabb and Jay Boland are just two of the volunteers who are ready to assist if severe weather hits.
What it is you'll be a CERT person, and you just go out and start trying to help people. If they see if you can help people, go along the way, go to house if we have to.
Through their CERT classes, they learn how to provide basic care until the first responders can take over. They learn how to assess the situation.
We write everything down so we can pass that on to those first responders.
And help immediately with search and rescue, crowd control, and organization.
But we're going to give you the tools where you're going to go out there and you're going to be confident in your abilities to help somebody, to kind of give them a shoulder to lean on.
Helping people could mean clearing out downed trees or helping first responders in search and rescue efforts. You can also help first responders after the storm by getting to know all your neighbors before.
Know their neighbors. They know who are those ones that have special needs. Oxygen tank. There may be a family that are deaf in the neighborhood, may not hear some of the sirens.
The advantage to having neighborhood teams is they're the ones that know what the locations are. They're the ones that know which families have small children, which families have elderly, which families have folks who have a disability. Do the greatest good for the greatest amount of people.
Thanks, Courtney. And it's not too late to get involved with the CERT team. If you would like to help the first responders, contact your local emergency management office. Oscar?
Well, Chris, food, water, a toothbrush are things we use every day without much thought. But in case of emergency, they become pretty important. They're your lifeline. News 4's Matthew McClellan shows us what you need to be preparing for in this hurricane season.
The most important part of having a hurricane plan is having a hurricane survival kit. It's the list that includes all of the essential items you and your family will need in the case of an emergency, and each member of your family should have enough of these items to last 3 days to 2 weeks. The most important part of that list? Water. For every person in your family, you should have a gallon for each day. If the power's out, you'll need a manual can opener to get into your canned foods. Make sure you've got soup, cereal bars, canned meat, and other non-perishables. As far as health supplies go, in case there's another Hurricane Sandy or Katrina, you want to make sure your prescriptions are refilled. You may not be able to leave your house for a few days or even weeks, so it's important to plan ahead. The most important thing you can have at home when your power goes out is a flashlight. It's also important to remember extra batteries, fuel, and a few critical pieces of paper. Petty cash will get you a lot more than a credit card will in the case of a power outage. Also, be sure and take photocopies of your medical prescriptions. And last but not least, you want to make sure you've got a driver's license or some other kind of photo ID in case of an emergency. And in case you have to evacuate, there are several personal supplies you're going to want to take with you. You might not know where you're going to be sleeping, so anything to make your stay a little more comfortable, always a good idea. Bring pillows, blankets, and if you have an inflatable air mattress, that's not a bad idea either. You'll need a bag of clothes for a few days, and don't forget a towel, toothbrush, and other toiletries. Entertainment may seem like a non-essential, but believe me, a book, a board game, or a puzzle could just save your sanity. They both need lots of love and lots of attention. We're talking about babies and pets. First thing you want to have is lots of disposable, I repeat, disposable diapers. Make sure you're stocked on medication, baby formula, and food for the youngest members of your family. And now we're talking about the other babies in your lives, your pets. Make sure if you're evacuating that you've got enough food for at least 2 weeks. Also, you need to have bowls and copies of their vaccination records. It's always good to bring a pet carrier for the smaller pets and leashes for the big ones. And remember, for a complete list of everything you need for your hurricane kit, visit our Forewarned Hurricane Center at WTVY.com.
Great information. Now, we think it's so important for you to be prepared. We're giving away a hurricane preparedness kit. This kit isn't all you need to be ready with, but it's a good start.
And here's a list of what's in the kit and how you can register to win it. All you have to do is like the Forewarned Weather Team Facebook page and register for the emergency kit there. You can register until June 18th when we will draw a winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Free stuff is always good, especially if it's getting you prepared for the hurricane season. We appreciate everyone for joining us tonight. Hopefully you'll take the information you've seen and get you and your family ready for this season. It's been a while since we can remember a hurricane around here, but all it takes is one storm to make it a year that you'll want to forget. As always, for all the latest in weather coverage and for tropical weather too, go to our website, WTVY.com/weather. Good night, everybody. Take care.
You've been watching Preparing for the One, What to Do If It Happens, a Forewarned Weather special brought to you by Alpha Insurance.